Hi, good afternoon. This is Aumara Bonet coming to you from my first attempt at going live myself, but I've had this thought that's been returning to my mind all afternoon, and I wanted to jump on real quick and share a very special teaching that I received many years ago from a great master teacher of who I received a lot of teachings from the non-physical. And it was one particular day where I had been with someone that had said some comments to me that were very upsetting, and my feelings at the time were very hurt. So I was home at night, and I began talking to this spiritual master who we'd have conversations, all the time. And I was explaining what went on, and I was in tears, and I was, really wanting some answers on how to move through this very difficult time. I didn't want to stay in that energy. I wanted to move through it, but didn't quite know how because I was so upset in my emotional body. So I explained myself, and I could feel the energy that this great master just listened. And then when I was done explaining, he said, "So what?" And that was not what I wanted to hear at the time. When he said, "So what?" I became even more upset. I'm like, "What do you mean, so what? This person did this and this and this and this and this and this." And then I started rattling off again. So he said, "So what?" And I said, "I don't understand." He said, "I'll be back." And he left. And he left me to cry some more and to be really upset and really stew in my own emotions. And it was several hours later he returned. And when he returned, I heard the voice in my mind. And he said very, very gently, he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Am I ready?" And he said, "Yes. Are you ready to listen?" And I said, "Yes, I'm ready." I had already gone through hours of torment. So I said, "I'm ready." So he said, "Okay, so what?" So I said, "Yeah, but," and I started to explain again. And he said, "Yes, and so what?" He said, "When you step into the so what, you release that energy and you let it go. You cannot change the words or actions of someone else, but you can manage your energy. When you say so what, you understand that what is being done or what is being said is not expressing the truth of our nature, the truth of that which we are, who we are. We are divine beings of love. We are not hurtful actions, and many people will say, well, people who are hurtful in their actions are because they've been hurt. So it's the hurt coming out of them. And from a psychological perspective, yes. But from the spiritual perspective, it's the illusion. It's not who we are. It's bad behavior, poor form. We could call it poor form, but it's not who we are. And when we're wanting to grow and expand our consciousness, we're wanting to step into a reality that is more love-based and not of a lower frequency. We want to rise up. We want to ascend. In order to do that, we have to let go of the lower frequency. When we are upset about something that someone has done or something someone said or what's going on in our world at this moment, we then join in with that frequency. We're right on that level, right in that playing field. We haven't gone beyond it. In order to bring about a different reality, we must individually rise up. We must see a higher reality. We must choose to play on the higher field. So then this individual who at that time hurt my feelings so much, when I say, so what, when I was able to bring myself to the point to release her from what had happened and say that was not the truth of her being that spoke to me. And I choose to see the truth of her being. Whether or not she's able to at the moment doesn't matter. But I choose the higher road. I choose to see the truth, the true nature. And I say, okay, if this is the way this individual wants to behave, then I choose not to be in their presence. Choosing not to be in someone's presence does not equate to that I don't like you, I don't love you, you're a nasty person, I don't want to be around you. It simply means that the energy, the frequency of which is being emitted at that time by that individual is something I'm making a choice, a conscious decision not to participate in. I'm choosing to hold them to a higher perspective. I'm choosing to meet them once they rise up and not play in the field of the lower energies. So when things happen to us and we get very upset, or we're looking out at the world and go, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming, the things that are going on, I challenge you to stop for a moment, to close your eyes, to take in a nice deep breath, and to just let yourself feel the energy of so what? So what? Let it be. It's not the true nature of that which you are. It's not the true nature of all of creation. It is that which we're viewing at the time, which is the lesser field, the lesser energy. It's a fear-based collective expression of consciousness going on in this world. Or when we're doing something, when we're experiencing something that is unkind, that is lacking in gratitude, lacking in empathy, that is lacking in compassion. Those are not expressions of that who we are. Those are expressions of that which we tell ourselves we may be, the story of who we are or who another person is. When we're stating something about somebody else, we have to realize that that's never describing them. It's describing our perception of them. End of story. And I get some arguments back and pushback on that from people going, no, I know who that person is. Really? If you did, you would be able to go, so what? Because you know that that person, in truth, is love. They may not be behaving in a loving way, but you know who they are. If you believe them to be anything outside of that, you're believing in the story. So yeah, there's things going on in this world. There's horrific things going on and actions taken by people who are very unaware of the true nature of their being. But if we get into the mud with them, we cannot help ourselves nor anything else in our reality. We are all connected together always. There is no way of separating us from the bad or the good or in any term of description that we could possibly think of. We cannot be separated. Only in our mind separates. But in the truth, the reality is we cannot be separated. So I say there's a part of this expression of that which I am that's choosing to behave in such an abhorrent manner that, yeah, all I can do is choose the higher reality so that puts that energy out into the field. And the more of us that choose that, the more energy is available for others to begin to awaken, to begin to stop and go, wait a minute, there's another choice. I don't have to behave this way. I can choose differently. So for someone if we take an action, that's someone that's doing something hurtful with their words, and we choose in the moment to say, oh, so what? Oh, well, that's the way you feel. That's very interesting. That's your perception. I don't share that perception with you, but that's yours. You're entitled to it, and that's fine. And then you walk away. and you've left that person, you've dropped at their feet the opportunity to choose differently. Yeah, they can see their perception and only their perception, and you're wrong and they're right, and that's fine for the moment. But you still left that energy with them, knowing that there is another option, there is another choice. We can choose to see differently. And it's okay that we don't share our perception. It's okay that I see something one way and you see it another way. When we come together and we're able to discuss what we see, and we're able to listen to one another, and we're able to make a connection, not in our mind, but in our heart. We allow for the expression of love to come forth, and we begin to change this world of which we are experiencing. Our reality shifts. We start living in a higher vibrational field. We shift our reality. We rise up. And as we do that, the energy all around us is imprinted with that. So let us, this beautiful day, consider choosing so what and put it into action in our life. And take note of the experiences you begin to have, how the energy begins to shift, how you become less anxious, less fearful, and experience more peace and a release and an uplifting vibration into a beautiful world. Let us focus our time and energy on the world we choose to live in, and not on that which we see with our physical eyes, but that which we choose with our heart. Let us welcome into our experience the higher realities. May we do that in each and every breath. Thank you for joining me in this brief discussion. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. And when I figure out how to turn this